Great rise. Give me 1 second. All right. All right. Great rise, beloveds. You know who it is. We got some technical difficulties over here. You know who it is. Anyway, you know what it is. It's your girl, Queen Goddess, the King Advocate. It is Melanated Monday. I'm going to give you all time to get in here and get yourself situated as I get myself situated. Hopefully you all will join me and participate in tonight's discussion. Great rise, Brenda. Thank you, beloved, for being here. I appreciate you. So we're going to give people time to get in here and get situated. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, anything you would like to share, by all means do so. If you know somebody that needs to be in on this conversation tonight, they need to hear it, please tag them, share it, do a watch party, whatever you have to do to get them involved. I think tonight's topic is going to be kind of touchy and touching, but necessary. So again, I'm welcoming you all in to join the conversation. Give you a minute, couple minutes. You know, our folks, they're a little slow. We got some other people that showed up, but I can't tell who it is. I think that's DJ. Is that DJ that showed up? It is. What's going on, beloved? Thank you for being here. I appreciate you, loved one. We got some other people that have shown up, but I can't tell who they are just yet. But great rise. Thank you for being here. I do appreciate you. For the disclaimer immediately, I have changed the way that I do the conversation, where I would normally address everybody as they show up throughout the broadcast. I'm going to only do that in the beginning and the end, so it doesn't interrupt the flow of conversation. But I will acknowledge your comments. Okay. See, so what's going on, beloved? I see you, beloved. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. Again, tonight's topic is his loudest silence. And for me, this is a very important subject matter. A lot of things that we're not paying attention to that need to be paid attention to. We need to be paying attention to them. And hopefully by the end of this night, we'll have a little bit more of an understanding as to how to move forward, why it's necessary to pay attention to the things that are not obvious, because the things that are not obvious are really the things that are the most obvious. Who else joined me? Is that my other cousin? We got family on the line tonight. That's what's up. I appreciate you all for being here. So I'm going to give folks this another minute. Racine, I see you, beloved. Thank you. I appreciate you. Give folks another minute or two to get in here, get situated. Again, if you all want to share it, you can start sharing it right now. You can start sharing it. I really want to get these men on the line. But ladies, this is like more so for you. It's more so for you. So I'm looking for you all to have some questions, some comments, something. It's for you, but about them. Okay. So we're going to get started. We're going to go ahead and get started. We're going to get started. When they show up, they show up. So anyway, so what sparks my conversation, what sparks my topics are usually based on experiences that I am either part of or that I witness. And it began yesterday at the skate rink, yesterday at the skating rink. I had engaged in conversation with one of the brothers there. And the question was posed to me again as to what really sparked me to being who I am as far as an advocate for our men. And I mentioned to you all before that my thought was based on relationships that I've had as an adult with men, that it was paying attention to the situations of men, the hurts that men have, endured in other relationships, and how they've, transferred those traumas over to other relationships, how they sabotage good relationships because they base it on past relationships. And ladies, we are absolutely guilty of doing the same. It's different, however, when these things are happening with men, because they don't discuss them. It's not obvious as to what's going on with them, how they're handling, how they're dealing with the trauma, how they're dealing with it. It's not obvious. They don't speak. And because we don't communicate the same, we miss out on what's actually being said, because we're looking for or listening for it to come across a certain way, and that's not the way they communicate. So we miss the information that's being given because we have an expectation on the way it's supposed to come across, and we miss it. And then we don't understand why he's behaving a certain way, why he's pulled back, why he's silent, why he's so-called cheat, why he's looking for something elsewhere, why he's not committing, why he can't give you his 100%, why he's not reciprocating what it is that you're giving him. And he's telling you why he can't. He's telling you what's happened to him by not speaking. His words, his feelings, his thoughts, his trauma are being expressed in a silent way. When we talk about, or we think about how women express emotions when we're hurt, we'll speak it, of course, but then you'll see it. You'll see it in our tears. We cry, you'll see the tears. We don't acknowledge the fact that men cry, but they cry in reverse. They cry backwards. So the tears don't come out, but they flow. They flow internally. So because we don't see them, we don't think they exist. So we continue to treat them as if nothing has happened. We continue to treat them like robots, like mechanical machines, like nothing hurts them, nothing phases them. And that's so completely the opposite. Like I said yesterday in conversation, when I was asked why I am who I am, and I said that it was my understanding that it began in paying attention to the relationships that I was in. And it really didn't. I brought this up before, that it began when I was 6 years old. I became a woman. I was a 6-year-old woman, which was brought to my attention. I was a 6-year-old woman because things stopped for me. I had to witness some things and adjust and figure them out at 6. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to go into any detail. Not doing it. But at 6, things stopped for me. But that allowed me, I said, to be who I am and to be able to pay attention to how men communicate, to pay attention to what they really need, even when they're not saying it. And as women, we have to learn to pay attention to the things that are not that obvious, because those are the obvious things. Men cry loudly in silence. Their tears roll quickly and deep and passionately backwards. They go internally. So if you're not paying attention, if you're not asking the questions, if you get so caught up in your feelings, if you're not to a point where you can step outside of being tired of how he's treating you or how he's mistreating you or how you're not getting out of him what you want or what you think you need from him, if you can step back just for a minute and look, don't pay attention to just what he's doing. Get an understanding as to why it's being done. We talk about the tree and the fruit that falls from the tree, but we forget the tree is buried in soil. So whatever is going on in the soil affects the root of the tree, which affects the leaves of the tree, which affects the fruit of the tree. Dig deeper. Don't make a judgment based on what you're seeing, because that is not it. For the most part, that's the cover up. What you're seeing is his defense mechanism to what's really going on. Men, correct me if I'm wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. I can only give information based on my observation. I've never been a man. Trust that. Okay. So I can only give information based on what I observe. So if I'm incorrect on anything, please correct me. If you have something to add, please add it. This is not one of those moments where your silence is needed. We need you to speak. Speak. And I have conversation a lot with women who are just really fed up. They're just tired of how men have been treating them, tired of men not doing anything or just not saying anything. You know, if they're going through something, there's an expectation, like I said, from a woman's mind that he should say what he wants, because in any other situation, he would say what he wants. He would say what it is that he has a desire for. If it's something physical, he'll say that. If it's something monetary, he'll say that. But when it comes to what he's dealing with internally, he won't say anything. So now the woman is left to figure it out, to try to read his mind, to try to read his thoughts, to try to read his behaviors. And then I had to realize also, even though actions speak louder than words, the actions don't always tell the truth. Even though they speak loudly, they don't always tell the truth. And that's the part you have to listen to. That's the part you have to pay the most attention to. What looks obvious is not it. That's not the problem. What you're seeing is not the problem. What you're hearing is not the only issue. It's the things that he's not verbally saying that are the problem. It's the things that he's not doing that are the problem. It's the things that he's not reciprocating that are the problems. Ask questions about him. We don't get to learn. We don't learn each other. We don't learn each other from the soil. We start right at the branches. We want to figure out what's going on from the branches out. You can't learn a person from that point. You have to get in the dirt. Eddie Davis, what's going on, beloved? You're saying when your actions match your words, pay attention to that. Indeed. I mean, you definitely have to pay attention. No doubt. You definitely have to pay attention. But again, I guess it could be a human thing, but for a man, again, correct me if I'm wrong, you being a man, sometimes your actions, they don't tell the truth, because there's so many stigmas and so many societal expectations and standards put on a man to behave, to act a certain way, that you go with that. You're not allowing yourself to be vulnerable, because once you become vulnerable, particularly to a woman, your vulnerability, sadly, has been used as a weapon against you instead of as a gift. So like you all being vulnerable with a woman is a gift to us. It's a gift that's empowering on both ends. But sadly, women have had a history of taking that gift and using it as a weapon against him and then expecting him to reciprocate a gift. It ain't gonna happen, ladies. It's not gonna happen. Let me see who we got here. We got another comment. A says, when your actions, when they don't match. Oh, that's a repeat. When they don't match your words, it exposes true intention. Gotcha. See you, Miss Mavis. Thank you, love. And Kevin, I see you, beloved. You said, read that second comment I wrote. Okay, I got you. I read it. I read it. But guys, like I said, this is informative for women. But I need to hear you. I need to see your words. I need you to express what this is. This is all about how we heal. And the only way we heal is to know what hurts. We got to know what hurts. We got to know how to utilize the tools that we have, which means we got to have the tools. And women, we have the tools. So use them as tools to heal, not as weapons to cause more injury. That is a problem. This is why they shut down. This is why they don't speak. This is why they go into hiding. This is why they revert inwardly. This is why they cry backwards, because they're not going to hurt themselves. They're not going to be insecure about being outward with themselves, vulnerable with themselves, because they're not going to be a weapon to themselves. Phoenix Rising, what's going on, beloved? You saying at the job, some sisters give me problems. I can dig it. I'm sure they do. You can be a little bit more detailed and we can talk about that. But again, I need you all to speak. This is for healing, because y'all know I'm a crybaby sometimes. And I don't have no problem dropping tears. I don't have no problem with it. This is for you all to heal. We need you to heal. We need things to be balanced out. We need to be able to communicate in the same language, on the same vibration, in the same energy. We need this to happen. Eddie says most women use love, success, or sex to overcome pain. So I'm gonna ask the question then: what do men use to overcome the pain? What do men use to overcome pain? Because what I see, and this is just me speaking, what I see is denial that it even hurts. Men deny the fact that they have been emotionally hurt. Some will say it, yeah, you hurt my feelings, yeah, that hurt my feelings, whatever, but that's as far as that goes. It doesn't go any deeper as to how it did or how it psychologically affected you. They don't go any deeper than that. We need to know what we're doing to each other. We need to know what we're doing to each other. We got to get out of the mindset of being sick and tired of dealing with one another. Get sick and tired. Like, why are we dealing? First of all, let's deal with the word. Why are we dealing with one another and not relating with one another? Why? You deal with something that you don't want to be bothered with. Think about the word. I'm going to deal with that when I get to it. I'll deal with it. I'll handle it when I get to it. These words mean things. There's an energy behind it. There's a vibration that goes with that. If you're dealing with something, it's because you really don't want to handle it. You don't want to get a resolve to it. You just want it to be over with. That doesn't cause healing. It causes things to be swept under a rug, to put a towel over a basket of dirty clothes. The shit is still there. It's still there. We need you to heal. I personally need you to heal. Let me see what we got here. We got some more comments. Sunshine, I see you, loved one. Thank you for being here. You say men do whatever pleases the woman. And that's sad. That's how he heals. That's how he deals with his pain. So a man is saying men do whatever the woman wants to deal with his pain. That don't even go together. And that's no shot at you. I'm saying like it don't go together. Like it don't make sense. If the woman is causing the injury, then from a man, he's saying he's going to do whatever it is that she wants in order for him to heal from what's causing the injury. They don't go together. You see what I'm saying? Like this is back ass work. It's back ass work. It don't make sense. It can't work that way. He cannot continue to basically pacify her to shut down what's going on with him. It doesn't work. He'll never heal. And ladies, this is what I'm saying. And we talked about this before. Men have never learned to heal from trauma. They've never learned to heal from trauma. They've been taught and told to deal with it. Yes, if you want to call in, you can do so. My phone is open, 770-906-5271. He's saying, he says, healing starts with diet and so much more. Oh, absolutely. Oh, yeah, we're going to touch that. You can heal thy mind if you can control your inner body or other important things. Got you. You can't heal. You say you can't heal your heel without doing those things. You can't heal your heel. I kind of know what you mean. You say when really needs someone to talk to. Men need someone to talk to. Is that what you're saying? Absolutely, they do. And the thing about it, women, okay, thank you, matter of fact, for even saying that, okay? Because that is not something that men say out loud. Men don't say, that's all right, loved one. Men don't say, I need somebody to talk to. So women, assume that you don't. Women assume that you're good and continue doing what they do because they assume that you don't need anybody to talk to because y'all don't say that. Ladies, what I'm telling you is there's not a whole lot of difference between men and women when it comes to trauma, when it comes to being or when it comes to being healed or the need to be healed. There's not a lot of difference. We're just more outwardly expressive than they are, but they still experience the same thing. A man just said, we need someone to talk to. Why is it threatening for him to talk to a woman? Why does he feel that he has to defend himself when talking to a woman and his woman at that? Why is there any type of insecurity for him to want to open up and talk to his woman about what's going on with him? Why is that an issue? No other culture does this shit but us. We do this. No other culture does this. No other culture prevents each other from growing emotionally and spiritually. No other culture does this. Eddie says, love is putting your guessing aside and making sure. Facts. When you love someone, you spend more time on them due to that love. Kenyon, I see you, loved one. Thanks for being here. Nowadays, we only love each other when things are beneficial. And that brings me back to defining what love is. We have been taught and conditioned to accept love as a feeling that we have toward one another. A feeling that we have. But based on the situation, based on the circumstances, feelings change. You hear people say, I don't love you anymore, or I've fallen out of love with him or her. So based on that, what then, or what validation is love? What is it then? If it's based on the circumstance, if it's based on how you feel, as long as the circumstance meets your standards, as long as it benefits you, you can feel this love for somebody. But once the circumstances change, you no longer feel it. You're no longer under the trance, or in the trance called in love. This is why I say love don't have shit to do with how you feel about anybody else. Love is an application of truth. You all, whether you have had any direct contact with me or not, can say, I, Queen Goddess, the King Advocate, love you. Why can you say that? Because I give you truth every time we interact. Every time. There's an application of truth every time. Fuck your feelings. I don't care if what I'm saying to you, you like it or not. It ain't about you liking what I'm saying. I'm giving you information to grow with. I'm giving you a seed to plant in fertile soil so your fruit will be ripe. So you won't give birth to rotten fruit. You can eat that fruit. You can pass that fruit on. You can then love somebody else because you will be in your truth at all times. Love has nada to do with how you feel about somebody else. Let me read these comments here because they're coming in and I love it. The other cultures do it, but it's not as big. And it's right, it's not obvious. It ain't in the face, but they find a way to correct it. We don't. We accept this shit like it's okay, it's normal. We've become desensitized to so many things. We've become desensitized to each other. It's just whatever. I ain't with it. Coy, what's going on, beloved? He's saying because a woman will speak the truth on said woman's action, and that is a threat to said women. I might need you to clarify that for me, love, if you don't mind. And he says, we only love God due to fear of hell and beneficial ways to heaven. But even, okay, let's deal with that. When we think of God's love, now, if God loved human beings based on feeling, we'd be fucked up. Trust that, okay? What we do don't have anything to do with what we need to be doing. His, her, its love, whatever, has nothing to do with feeling. That love is based on what God said God was going to do and be about on a consistent basis. I love you because I said so, because I choose to, because I honor myself, because my word will not come back to me void, because I am the truth. That's what that love is, the application of truth, period. He said, when you love someone, it never ends, but the respect level can change. Now, that's a fact. That, yes, that part is an absolute fact. The respect level can change, but you loving somebody doesn't, because That's the application of you. That's the application of your truth. And people lie about it all the damn time. What did I just do? Sorry about that. Coy says, reaction to having someone to talk, even if it's another woman. Reaction to having someone to talk to, even if it's another woman. Okay. Gotcha. But I'm saying, like, men need to be okay with having conversations, first of all, with each other, with other men. That needs to be okay. All right. But you also need to be okay with having these conversations with your woman, with women, period, because we balance each other out. Women, we have to stop using their vulnerability as a weapon against them and then expect them to be their best selves. How does that happen? You expect him to give you life, to be life, but you're steady taking his life. How does this happen? I get it that you're tired. I get it that you've had many experiences in your past with men who didn't treat you right. I get that. But so have they. If we consistently base our right now relationship or possible future relationships on what we dealt with in the past, we'll never unite. We'll never be a family. We'll never be okay. I have watched men that I've had relationships with or tried to have relationships with sabotage our relationship because they were preparing in their mind that I was going to be what they were used to. So the stage was already set. It was already kind of pre-planned what this is about to be, how they were going to handle this situation. But they were creating the scenario. So when I didn't fall in line with the scenario, now they stuck. Now they don't know what to do. So the only thing to do at this point is to run. I don't know what to do with this scenario. She don't fit the plot. Her character is not the same. It's not what I'm used to. I don't know what to do with this, so I'm gonna run. So they sabotage relationships. I, in my own relationships, had to pay attention to what was happening, had to pay attention to the words he wasn't saying, had to pay attention to the emotion that he wasn't showing. I had to pay attention. I had to want to know what is going on with you. What's happening with you? What happened to you? Why are you here? But we stopped even wanting to know. We stopped wanting to care about them. It's all about us. And yet, we still want a man in our life. Well, how is this going to happen if you won't allow him to be in your life? Invite him into your life. Let him know it's okay. It's safe to be in your life and vice versa. Brother Cecil says, if we are knowledgeable, our women fight us on it. We get tired of asking our women to respect us. So sad. So silent it is. Now that hurt. That hurt. This man just said, this is a man speaking, ladies. Pay attention. The man just said, because he's knowledgeable, the woman is fighting him, being combative with him. All he wants to be is respected. And the fact that he has to ask to be respected is a problem. Why does he have to ask to be respected? One thing that I've learned, ladies, and this is what you all need to understand also. Men don't need you to tell them you love them. They don't need to hear the words. It's not the words that move them. It's not the words that secure them. Respect them is number one, and appreciate them. Those two things will then show that you love him. Respect him. Even if you don't understand what's going on, respect and appreciate him. If he recognizes that you do that, he will open up to you. He will give you what it is you need, what you're looking for emotionally. He can reciprocate. We want that we demand a man give us. You better respect me. You just better respect me. The same things that we demand from him are the same things that he needs from us. Heaven, I see you, beloved. Thanks for being here. If you want to call in, 770-906-5271 is the number. Call in 770-906-5271. Let me put this up here so folks can get that. 770-906-5271 if you want to call in. Man, if you have anything you want to add, any questions, comments, concerns, ladies, anything that you want to ask, I know you're there. I know you're listening. And it's important to pay attention. He's not going to verbally say everything. He's not going to. That ain't how he built. That's not how he communicates right now. That ain't him. But he does cry. He does speak loudly. He does tell you what he needs. He shows you what he needs. He shows you what's absent. And a lot of times they'll do it in a joking fashion. It's not funny, even if he laughs. Just like comedians, they make you laugh all the time, but inside they crying too. Hence the comedians that have killed themselves, but they laughed before they did that. But they were hurting inside because nobody was listening to the words that weren't being said because they were focused on the fact that they were focused on the fact of being entertained by them. Something was being satisfied in you, so you stopped paying attention to what was missing in them. Pay attention to everything. There's a lot of grown-ass looking men who are still children because trauma has occurred in childhood that they never healed from. Just because he looks like an adult, just because he sounds like an adult, just because he moves like a grown man does not mean he has grown up. Men get suspended in psychological trauma. And if you don't pay attention, if you don't ask the questions, if you don't give a damn and care about something outside of your own self, outside of what you can benefit from, you will miss it and you will watch him die right in your face, and you will become a weapon that helped kill him. Coy says, because of past relationships that didn't work, women have been forced to take on a man's role, and the trust and beliefs that a woman had in a man is somewhat diminished. Let me see. It's somewhat diminished. Now you have to prove you are the real deal in order to receive proper respect from her. So let me correct. I get what you're saying, but let me correct this. A woman can never take on the man's role. A man can never take on a woman's role. It don't happen. That's a misunderstanding. Okay, that's a misunderstanding. You may have to do some things that you're not normally used to doing as a man, or you may have to do some things that you're not normally used to doing as a woman. But as far as your roles are concerned, they cannot cross because we ain't built that way. They can't cross. But I get what you're saying. Some things have happened, and one of the things that we also have to pay attention to, and Brother Eddie brought it up earlier, as far as the things that we eat. And one of these days, I'm gonna have some people in here so we can have real educated conversation about the food or so-called food that we take in that's having a major effect on how you think, how you process, how you grow, how you understand, how you behave. Food that you eat on a regular basis is not nourishing any longer. Sounds that you listen to are not necessarily beneficial. The music nowadays that you like listening to is not necessarily beneficial to your health. And that's fact. Now we're going to talk about that another day. I'm going to get deep into it. Okay. But we have to start paying attention to everything. Eric, I see you, beloved. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. We have to start paying attention. We have to start giving a damn about what's going on with our men. And I cannot express that anymore. It bothers me. And ladies, I don't know if you've ever witnessed it, to watch a man come to tears on anything. But when I watch a man come to tears because he's listening to me say, I get it. I understand. I'm fighting for you. It's humbling, but it's sad because that tells me that he's not used to a woman being by his side. He's not used to being understood. He's not used to being listened to. He's not used to being paid attention to. He's not used to being fought for. He's not used to being protected. He's not used to any of this. What you saying, Cecil? You see, I was told I was always trying to be analytical because she didn't want to respect the person I am. Our women get afraid when we don't fit into their nigger narrative. Let me see what else you got. An upright black man scares the hell out of them. They do not know how to deal with us. That's a fact. And again, I want to pull away from the dealing with, because we know how to deal with you. We don't know how to relate with you. We don't want to deal. That's a problem. We got to stop dealing with each other and start relating so we can communicate, so we can build that part. Lord have mercy. Man, I'm going to ask you this. And I know it's going to take some doings. I know it is. I'm asking that you all relinquish the liar in you that prevents you from being completely honest with self and being able to express outwardly what's going on with you internally. I'm asking that. Marche, what's going on, beloved? Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. I'm asking that you relinquish the liar in you that prevents you from acknowledging the truth about yourself and being able to outwardly express what is going on with you. Because we're speaking a different language. Women need to hear what it is. We need to hear it. We need to see it. That we can't read your mind. Some of us can. Anyway, but we need to hear what's going on with you. When we hear it, it becomes real. Right. See, so exactly. They don't understand. Relate is part of relationship. It is the beginning of relationship. Frankie, what's going on, loved one? Appreciate you for being here. Relate is the beginning of the relationship. It is the foundation. But in order to relate, you have to know how to communicate. You have to give a damn. You have to want to be able to relate. You got to get outside of your own self. Stop being so stop being so selfish when it's just about you and you're only concerned about what you want. That goes on both sides. But stop being so selfish where the other person just don't matter unless he or she is giving you something that you want at the moment. We have to start giving and giving to each other. We have to replenish each other. We have to make sure the soil that this tree is planted in, that this seed is planted in, is nourished, that it has all of the 152 minerals that it needs, so that the tree that's going to grow out of it is going to be able to give you a ripe nutritional fruit. We dying out here and we killing each other emotionally, spiritually, psychologically, killing each other and don't have a damn clue because we tired. We're tired of these niggas acting a certain kind of way, not doing certain things. We tired of these women. Y'all know what y'all call it. I just ain't trying to do it. Y'all tired. I get it. I get it. But find some strength. Get the strength. Give each other the strength to keep moving forward. If I'm tired, somebody give me some energy so I can get back up, so I can lift up somebody else that's tired, so it can keep going on. Don't be tired and lay there. And if you see somebody that's tired, give them some strength, give them some energy, give them a seed of life so they can get up and they can help somebody else get up, because we got to get up. We got to get up. Our men, which is the point of this broadcast tonight, have the loudest silence. They scream so loudly in silence. They cry so deeply internally. They want to communicate outwardly. They want to do it. It's been said they want to do it. They need to do it. But women have not allowed them to do it because they've used it as a weapon, because the woman has been taught and conditioned to do so. She's been taught and conditioned to take this man who was her provider, who was her protector, who was her intercessor, and turn him over. Come on now. Turn him over to the oppressor, to run him over with the bus. She's been conditioned to do so and to process from an emotional feeling, temporary circumstantial status to operate in that moment. She's conditioned to operate in that moment on a continuous basis. She's conditioned to operate from her emotional standpoint. She's conditioned to operate from her feelings that she no longer knows how to receive the information and process the fact that what she has turned over to the oppressor is what she needs to protect her own self. She's conditioned. So men, knowing this, you now have a responsibility to teach her, not walk away from her because she's ignorant to the conditioning. You have a responsibility to teach her what she doesn't know about you, what she doesn't know about self, because you are now her watcher. So if you, her watchman, if you have information that can save her life, and you don't give her that information, and she falls off into a ditch, or she does something to cause harm to herself, or she does something to cause harm to you, and you watch her, and then you walk away, but you said nothing, you are responsible for her life as well as your own. So you must speak up. Your silence has got to become vocal. You must say something to save not only your life, but save hers too. Save hers too. Say something. Your silence is also killing us. We can't hear what's not being said. And because you know how we've been conditioned, you have a responsibility to come get us. Don't be tired. Don't be fed up. Don't be so sick of dealing with us that you've thrown your hands up, that you walk away, that you go to some other people to find solace, to find peace. Give us a chance. Teach us. Save our life. Save us. Teach us to save us. Teach us how to save you. Stop being quiet and then walking away, being angry, being disappointed because we didn't hear you. Teach us how to hear in silence. Teach us how to hear your silence. We dying. We are dying in so many ways. I hate this. I hate having these conversations. I hate it, but it's necessary. It's necessary. This is information. This is me loving you on purpose, with purpose, every time. Not giving a fuck how you feel right now. I hope you get provoked today. I hope you get provoked. I hope you get provoked. Do something different. Do something. Save my life. Save his life. Do something. Speak up. Men, it's okay. It's okay to say something. It's okay to say that you're hurt. It's okay to tell us what you need. It's okay to say what's been absent from your life. It's okay to say that. But say it. Say it. Ladies, it's okay to be his shoulder when he needs to cry out loud. He needs to cry out loud. It's a release of everything. It's a release of toxin. It's a release of his trauma. It's a release of that pain. It's a release of that history. It's a release of his bondage. Let him cry. Give him peace. Give him his freedom. Give him that shoulder. Stop being a weapon. Stop using your shoulder to nudge him off. Stop using your hands as weapons and punching him out. Stop using your words as speaking. Whew. Stop spitting fire at him with your words. Give him life. Give him energy. Speak that to him. Let him know he means something. Let him know this. How can you look a man, our men, how can you look him in his face, look him in his eyes, and not see your own reflection? How can you look him in his eyes and not see you? Men, same for you. How can you look a woman in her eyes and not see your reflection? How can you not see you in me? Whew. Ladies, again, we got to start paying attention. We have to stop being his weapon. We have to stop giving him reason to accept as a fact that we are his enemy. How many times have I heard it That is the #1 video on my YouTube page. The black man's enemy is the black woman is the #1 video on my YouTube page, and there's 20 videos. You are absolutely right. Cecil says we have to fight white supremacy and white supremacy in our women. Understand what that is. It's a behavior. It's a thought process. Women's Lib had a whole lot to do with that. You don't get me started on that. But it had a lot to do with it. If you all want to call in, we got a couple more minutes. I can stay on if you like. You can do so. 770-906-5271. 770-906-5271 if you want to call in. Or if you want to just continue to share your thoughts. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, I hope I didn't miss anybody. Please share them. If you feel inclined to share this video, please do so. I really hope that this has provoked you. And in being provoked causes change to occur. Don't just look at the fruit of the tree. Don't just look at the leaves. Don't just look at the limbs. Don't just look at the root. Look at the soil that the seed was planted in. And that's on both ends. Look at your own soil. Give each other the right to heal. We got a call. This is Queen Goddess, the King Advocate. You are live on Melanated Monday. Who am I speaking with?
You speaking to me, Phoenix Rising.
What's going on, beloved Phoenix Rising? Thank you for calling in.
No problem. Before at the job, I told this one sister to listen to some meditation music because she was like, "Yo, Junior, I noticed that you don't be like kind of upset coming to the job and all that." And I said, "I listen to meditation music." And
Okay.
she came in the next day. She's like, "Junior, I want to tell you my testimony at work."
Okay.
She's like, "Yo, it worked, man. I like that meditation music."
Absolutely. It makes a
honestly,
difference.
Honestly, when I tell sister stuff, they don't never listen to me. And this one listened to me. I was very shocked and I was surprised.
And that's sad. Okay, so let me ask you, why do you as a man think that women don't listen to you? Why do you think that is?
I don't know. I'll be expressing my truth to them. I'll be giving them like remedies what's going to work for them.
Okay, if y'all didn't hear that, he said because he's expressing his truth. And I'm going to touch that because, again, we are not conditioned to accept the truth. We are conditioned. We have been taught to accept what we've been told is the truth as the truth. I'll say it and I will keep saying it. We have to unlearn the things that we have been taught and remember what we know. For a brother to come on here and say the women don't listen to him because he's telling the truth, that's crazy. That's ridiculous. And that's sad. But it's an absolute fact. And I know it. I know it. So let me ask you, I'm going to ask you this while you're here. How do you think we can fix it? What's the remedy? What is the remedy?
Clean the temple out, your body with the food, the social media, the bashing. We gotta stop bashing each other.
Mm-hmm.
We gotta stop disrespecting each other.
Absolutely.
Because I see that a lot.
Right.
In the streets. I don't speak to nobody like that. I mean, I just speak to like my family and the people at my job.
Right. Absolutely. And we got to stop lying to ourselves. That's the first thing. As I say, acknowledge the liar in self. Stop lying to your own damn self. Then you won't come into contact with other people that lie to you. So that's the first. Stop lying to yourself.
Yep, you're right about that. Well, that's all I wanted to say. Thank you for having me on.
I appreciate you, beloved, every time.
All right.
All right, loved ones. I appreciate you every time for being on here. Y'all could be anywhere, but you choose to be with me, and I am very humbled by it. I really do appreciate you. You don't even know. If you have anything you want to say, any last words you want to say before we get out of here, do it now, because I'm gonna wrap this thing up. Y'all know the gist. Speak up, and listen. Pay attention. I'm gonna go. I love you all. I love you. I love you. I love you on purpose, with purpose. And until next time, reflect the light. Peace.